Afternoon and a very warm welcome to this year's Automatica and ABB Robotics press conference. I am your host, Denisa Skundea, and on behalf of our ABB, we are delighted you could join us for today's event dedicated to the discussion around unlocking the possibilities for the next generation of flexible automation. As we're joined by an online audience, there are 3 cameras at the back of the room, so please try to keep your camera or phone below head height, so not to obstruct the viewers online. We have an exciting agenda for you today, covering 3 key issues within automation. President of ABB Robotics, Mark Segura, will present Supporting the Evolution of Industries. Managing Director of Business Line Automotive at ABB's Robotics, Jörg Rigger, will tell us all about expanding large robot family. And we will finish off with Global Product Manager of ABB Robotics, Katja Potavec, who will highlight accelerating the expansion of our GOFA Cobot family. Following today's presentation, we'll also be hosting a short Q&A, so please be ready with your questions in the room. And for those online, please submit them into the chat. We will try to get through as many as we can. Now to begin, let me hand over to Mark Segura. Thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Thanks, everyone. Welcome here. Thanks for being present here in the room. It's a packed room, by the way. And thanks online for all the viewers who joined us. We're really happy, the ABB Robotics family, to be here again at Automatica. This year, we have a bunch of new things to show you. You'll hear all the details in this session. But let me start with a video you may have seen online, because we're very proud it went kind of viral mainstream, which is showcasing some of our key achievements of what our technology can do. Let's play the video. Okay.
Jungle Keepers works in Peru. We're protecting the rainforest. We've been working on a reforestation program to be able to patch up the areas that we're losing.
ABB is collaborating to demonstrate how robotics can play a central role in sustainable transformation in our world.
In Robot Studio, users have the possibility to create projects from scratch. It's then possible to share it, even in the Amazon rainforest.
A very nice story. The most remote robot in the jungle of Amazon in Peru, helping a great NGO, Jungle Keepers, to reforest the Amazon. This NGO sees and understands that technology can only help them to accelerate and get better to their vision to save the planet. But why is it relevant for us here on an industrial fair? Well, what made this possible are a combination of key technologies that we have developed to unlock many possibilities. We have our collaborative robot Yumi that you know for many years that can work side by side with people without the need of much infrastructure. Yumi was powered by solar powers in the remote jungle, okay? So it was connected through satellite due to its communication features to the cloud. So through the Robot Studio software that you've seen, engineers on the other side of the world, in Sweden in this case, could help design the program to pick and place the seats, to have all these seats prepared. We can plan 6 football stadiums in a day, okay? So you have collaborative robotics, you have cloud technology, you have software for simulation. Why is this relevant? Well, these technologies are relevant because as we see, the drivers where robotics support are becoming even more important, even more challenging, and we're striving to offer the best flexible architecture to tackle all these problems through our solutions. If you take predictability, from a business standpoint, from a political standpoint, things are not as they used to be, predictable and simple. From geopolitics to trade compliance, to pandemics, to shortages, to supply chain shocks, to technology advancement. When you decide to invest in a product, build a factory, automate it, you have much less certainty what's going to happen than in the past. And our customers are telling us we need to have an architecture that can cope with constant change. Production ramp up, production ramp down, diversifying products, the different delivery channel to the market. All this is very dynamic. And if you have rigid automation, then your CapEx is trapped there. It is constrained. You need to have the next level of flexible automation. And we are striving, as you will see, to deliver a portfolio to be able to build these things with hardware and software. At the same time, centrally, labor shortage is becoming more and more a key central challenge for companies here in Europe, very much, but also in Japan, in most of the advanced economies. Even China now has started to decline population. So there is no solution. While we've been talking about productivity gains with our customers for years, we now just talk about being able to produce or not, because simply the people is not there. In US only, in 2025, there are going to be 400,000 welders lacking in the nation. Just to put you an example. And you know the millions of unfilled positions and millions we're going to have in this continent by 2030. So tackling this with automation that is easier to adopt by medium and small companies, easy to integrate, is also one big part of the efforts you will see we are striving for. And finally, sustainability, not only the example from the Amazon, but you've heard many other examples in our portfolio, like pixel paint, where we're drastically reducing the waste and the energy consumption when painting cars, 3D printing with recycled plastic, supporting compostable packaging companies to eliminate single-use plastic. All these things are becoming really business top on the agenda of the companies we're trying to help with the most advanced robotic automation. Our portfolio is very vast, it's very comprehensive. Our industrial robots, which we'll talk about, are the backbone, but we've been, over the years, adding cobots, software, mobile robotics, and all our application expertise that we are known from, where we package our application knowledge in function packages and also modular cells. Today in Automatica, we're going to focus on 2 new launches that are part of this very wide array of products and software. The first one is our brand new large robot family. I would say humbly but proudly that this is really a fantastic piece of engineering. It is the launch of 22 variants of robots, all these type of robots, which is truly a modular exercise. If modular engineering has a meaning, you can see it in this family of robots, where we have all the sizes of reach and payload to really go and complement any application. This can be seen in this chart, where with the families of 5700 up to the new 6700 that you can see on the booth, we are covering payloads from 70 kilos to 310 and reaches from 2.3 to 3.2. If you can see in the chart, at every level of payload and reach, we have a straight line of products covering seamlessly all the different possibilities. Uncertainty means that I don't know how my next product is going to be, so I don't know how to design it. So what type of robot I'm going to need becomes more difficult. That's why you need this density, and this density you get it through the modular design. So you have all these 22. Your Rigor, the managing director of Automotive, will talk much more in depth about this new family of robots. Then we have our expanded family of GOFAs. You've known Yumi for a long time, and still the amazing thing it does. And you've known GOFA, which we launched more than 1 year ago, where GOFA has really set new standards for power and force separation, lead-through programming, and accuracy. Now we are applying this for a longer range, longer payload robots that you will see. These robots are designed in a way that are best in class when it comes to the trade-off of reach and payload. Okay? They are slim, sleek. They can reach as far as any other Cobot in size with the highest payload. And Katja will talk about this, and we'll talk about also something that we're building around, again, the collaborative robots, and that's the ecosystem. A program now where we're partnering with end effector process equipment companies, so we have these pre-packaged process kits, so people can easily implement Cobots. Then we have our mobile robots. You know, we enter into this field, and many of you have asked me why ABB Robotics is going into mobile robotics. And there's only one reason. Once again, flexibility. The customers are telling us, look, I mean, because world is so uncertain, I cannot invest in one fixed line and another fixed line and another fixed line without knowing if the product's really going to succeed. Why don't you come out with an architecture where you break down the lines into smaller cells and you connect them by AMR, so I have more flexibility to use my factory? No matter what the production has to be, I can use all my assets all the time at high level. That's why we believe mobile robots has to be at the core of the new and future-looking flexible automation, flexible architecture of factories. And as it couldn't be any different, if we get into a segment or into a product like ABB, we want to advance technology. And this we have done very far, introducing the most advanced navigation technology. That is called Visual SLAM. SLAM stands for simultaneous localization and mapping, and it's all the process for the mobile robot to understand where it is in a map, so then it can take missions to go from A to B. That traditionally has been done with magnetic tape lines. That is a lean and reliable system, but it's not flexible. Flexibility was advanced with laser sensors, a 2D laser, but that has a lot of limitations. So now we are pushing boundaries, introducing 3D cameras where we get the full scene so we can have a more robust map. And of course, since you have all the images, you can apply machine learning, artificial intelligence, and develop a lot of new features. Let's look at a video what we've done with a customer already. AMRs to move pallets, to put crates in a warehouse environment. In this case, we're installing 4 3D stereo cameras and a very powerful GPU. As you see with the camera, we are pointing at many dots. Every green dot is validated by the system as a valid point of reference for the map. So imagine the difference if you would have a 2D laser scanner at one height. In such an environment, you would see a black line. It's a tire warehouse, so it would get lost. It did actually get lost. The same would happen in an aisle of a hospital. At the same time, a warehouse is a very dynamic environment. And one day you have a pallet, then it's not there. So you need to continuously be mapping, referencing to the column, referencing to scratch on the floor. And at the same time, anything that an AMR learns, it deploys to the whole fleet. So there is this collective real-time intelligence where the map is updated and shared across the fleet of AMRs. You've got the most comprehensive and resilient map with all these features. And because you have the images, you can also then teach the system to understand that a pallet is a pallet and it does not move, that a person might move, so you have a better obstacle avoidance, and many more things to come. All right, so we talk about industrial robots, we talk about cobots, we talk about mobile robots, and the software advancements in there. But what's the glue that puts all that together? It's the software layer, because the hardware its own, it does not allow you to ideate. So the first thing, of course, is allowing our customers to imagine, and that's, again, Robot Studio. Our software suite, which has been a very well-known and praised software offline design tool, okay? But now, because of the cloud functionality I alluded to in the Yumi video, we can extend this design feature to the real time, okay? Because once you've done a program and a simulation, that stays in the cloud, and the customer that has the physical installation and the system integrator can keep a dialogue about, hey, I want to optimize this, can you improve that? You don't need to go around with hard stuff. So then Robot Studio is helping to implement that, and as I said, because of the cloud sharing of the projects, now the customer can continuously call the integrator or themselves to look and optimize. So this optimization part, not only on design, but in the lifetime of the installation, is super important from a productivity standpoint and from an energy consumption standpoint or from a quality standpoint. That's why we're adding new features to Robot Studio. I want to show you one that is spectacular. Take one of the most important things of robot programming, which is creating an optimal path. A path when you need to load the machine or do some grinding, wherever, but you need to make that process fast and reliable. Well, we have embedded in Robot Studio automatic collision-free path planning. Means that you are pointing one or several points into the facility, and the Robot Studio will generate automatically an optimized path, avoiding any collision on the way. We've tested with some of our expert engineers to do that their best possible trajectory. It took 90 minutes, it achieved a 3.2 second cycle time. We run it with the algorithm, you see what the kind of a smart code it does. And in 2 seconds, it ran it, it generated the code, and the cycle time was the half of it. And you get a bonus, because anytime you do a shorter path, logically, you spend less energy on the trouble. So normally you optimize, in this case, from 3.6 kilojoules on the path to 2.3. 80% of the CO2 emission of robots happen in the installation, 20% in the production. So you can imagine how impactful this digital advanced tool can be for productivity, but also for sustainability. Because in ABB, again, our mission is to offer technology that can help our customers improve society, improve their productivity. From picking robots, advanced robots for logistics, the pixel paint that I alluded to, that is customizing cars while saving energy and paint, logistic applications with robots, artificial intelligence, mobile robotics, and also, very importantly, the way we do it and why we do it. That it's how I'm going to end up. Because in ABB, for us, it is as important what we offer to our customers and how we do it and why we do it and why we do it for our customers. And that's all around driving for a better world. Recycling plastics from the ocean to print objects in a department store in London, it could be an example. So all in all, today in Automatica, we continue our journey to try to develop products, large robots, cobots, AMRs, artificial intelligence, navigation, software suite, so the customers, the community can really develop the best possible solutions to thrive in productivity and sustainability. Thank you very much.
Now, please welcome Managing Director of Business Line Automotive, Jörg Röger.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning and a warm welcome also from my side to this Automatica press conference. And I have the great pleasure to talk a little bit more in detail about our new robot platform. And actually, I can say I'm really pleased. You know, working in the automotive industry nowadays is really exciting and inspiring. You know, it was a very traditional and solid business over so many years. A little bit R&D and innovation here and there. But now, since 3-4 years, a revolution is ongoing. And why? You know, the heart, the core of the car is changing from combustion engineering to an electrical motor. And there is still a discussion, is that the right thing to do? Are we on the right thing? Definitely we are, as Mark said, because this is also supporting sustainability. And automotive, of course, should be also contribute to get zero emission for a better and a greener world. And then when we are looking now, we see also there's a strong push now from the governments. They are putting bans out to stop it until 2030, 2040, like the European Union saying 2035. And then also investments from all the big automotives we have seen recently in many areas around the globe, also in the US, and then the government themselves supporting it. For example, in the US, the Inflation Reduction Act supporting this journey. And when we are asking myself where we are, I would say still at the beginning. You know, 2020 we had 4 or 5% electrical vehicle globally share. 2022 we are on a level around 40%. In 2030 we should go up to 50%. So this is really a steep curve we have to go. And there is a so strong need and demand for automation, for robots, for applications, and it's so many innovations and developments still ongoing. And if we are looking a little bit more into the detail of the electrical vehicle, we can say there are 3 main areas where we see innovations, need for robotics, and flexible automation, as Mark said. It's first of all, it's the battery, you know, producing the battery, putting the cells then together, manufacturing it, and putting that into the battery tray. The battery tray itself, you know, in the chassis is completely new design. And it's still changing. You know, we see different companies doing it in a different way. The second area where we are in and also bringing flexible automation is the manufacturing and the assembly of the e-motor. We are really producing e-motors. Have you asked me this 1 year before? Oh my God, it's totally different. and that's also influencing the chassis. And then we see the third area. Recently, we also see new things coming up, and they were driven by the, so to say, e-mobility drivers. So these new companies, we started directly with producing e-cars, like Tesla or BYD. They are saying having less parts for the pure car body to build it and make the parts bigger, but having less, make it more simple to assemble. And there we have mega casting and mega pressing ongoing. So a very, very big demand is ongoing in the market by this e-mobility. And of course, we have also other areas, as Mark said, in other industries. And exactly at that time, we have the great pleasure and the honor to launch a new robot family here at the Automatica this week. And you are actually one of the people have a little bit the privilege to see the launch video. And I would like to start with that now. A new family of complete robots, and as Mark said, modular built, so that we have the option for the future to keep the flexibility on the modular base. And then, when we are talking about 4 families, it is our 600-700 robots, and we reduced the weight by 10% by this new design. And you see, 4 powerful robot family, 6710 up to 6740, and the payload 150 to 310 kilo, and reachability also 2.5 to 3 meter, which is really best in class. And there you see, 22 powerful robots are coming into the market, and we are not only a robot supplier, as Mark said, we are putting applications on the robots and building such production cells, high standardized production cells for different applications, for high precision assembly you can see here, and then you can see here spot welding, and we have many applications, a very wide range. And then when we are talking about flexible automation, what we already heard from Mark is, now we are putting a very flexible transport system into this holistic approach. It's the AMR. You know, we have not the fixed conveyor technology anymore. We have really autonomous driving vehicle, and that makes the whole line super flexible. You can easily put a cell in and a cell out because the AGV can easily change the path. No problem at all. And this is this overall holistic concept we are driving, and not only for automotive, also for other industry where we are doing manufacturing. And then we have, as you see here, we have also for all applications really software in place, TrueMove for example here, to support the repeatability. In some areas you have seen for the spot welding was the spot weld software. So also for the applications we are developing softwares to support the quality of the end product. And then lean aspect is that on the robot we have a harness, and we have a very compact and designed for that, which is reducing the swinging and the friction, so that the programmer can easily program very free because there is no problem with the press pack later on. Okay, and don't forget you can also look virtual on it. And I hope you are also impressed a little bit by that, as we are, and having the great pleasure to make it here on the Automatica. And let me summarize. So what is important? 22 large high-performing robots. It's the 6-7 family, and we are of course supporting the EV trends, what I just explained, but also other industries. And then we have some remarkable performance topics. One is the wide range of payload, 150 to 310 kilo, and the reachability 2.5 to 3 meter. And then I would say when it comes to repeatability, we are best in class. We can say we are really on a good level now, 0.03 millimeters. And then also on the speed the outstanding cycle time, we are at 3.86 seconds due to our new OmniCore controller driving the robot. And then what is also a last highlight I want to put is, and I already said it, reducing the weight, and we also enhanced the brake system. We were able to reduce the energy of the robot and the controller by 20%, so also driving here sustainability. And then, as said, we are putting the robot on applications, and then we are building these high standardized application cells. We have seen many of them in the video. And then we are putting it together to flexible automation. That is what we are driving or when we are talking about flexible automation, to combining high standardized production cells with a very flexible transport system, which are the AMRs, the autonomous driving. And there we see the fleet management and things like that becoming more and more important to go for this holistic approach. And as said, you can easy and fast down and upscaling because you can easily put cells in and out. If you want to have a gluing application in, you can put a cell in and just the AMR is going a path further to cross this new production cell. And then on the productivity, I just want to highlight one thing, is the high mix of variants. So you can imagine when we have on one AMR the parts for type number B, it's coming to the cells, the laser is scanning it, we are producing type number B. On the next AMR, we have the parts for type number C. Scanner is taking it, the program is changing in the production cell, and we can switch to the next type. So really possible to make a high mix of variants and keeping at the same time a fantastic output of the line. And by that, I'm coming to my end, and I want to invite you all, please, visit our booth. There you can see one of this holistic approach. You can see one of this flexible manufacturing concept to get a better idea, and we build it up for an e-battery tray manufacturing solution. You really can see the AMRs, transporting the parts to the production unit, and then we have a robot putting the parts into, and on the other side we have the production area where one of our new robots is doing the spot welding. Many thanks for your attention, and I hope I can see many of you on our booth in the next couple of days. Big thanks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jörg. Now, to finish off the presentations, I would like to hand over to Global Product Manager Katja Butterbeck.
So, good afternoon for everyone in the room. Good afternoon or good morning wherever you are in the world online. It's a pleasure for me to be here and introduce our extension to our Cobot family. When we launched the YuMi in 2015, it really had a big impact on the market. And since then, we actually really extended our Cobot portfolio constantly. And today, you can see we have the YuMi family, we have the Swifty family, and we have the Gopher family. This had been developed to really address the need for safe application, but also easy to use automation solution. So really everyone can start with automation. Last but not least, what we heard before is having hardware in the portfolio is one thing, but at the end, it's equally important to have the easy-to-use software as well. So in this case, the Wizard Easy Programming, a very nice interface where you can drag and drop and easily create programs in a very intuitive way. And then the Robot Assist step, where you can control the robot, or you can super easily just find datasheet or any information you need. It's a very, very diverse portfolio we have as ABB, and I think that's what we also see here with the cobots. We see that the cobots is a very big growing part of the industrial robots. And a question is, why is it growing so fast? And earlier, we heard from Mark that there's a very big unpredictability in the market. And at the end, we need to be able to react fast to this. But not just we, but at the end, it's really our customers. So that's why, especially if we want to address a new diverse segment of customers, like first-time users, like small and mid-sized companies actually really starting with the automation, then it needs to be ease of use. So that's the key thing. It also needs to be safe. That's something we always need to keep in mind, but that's something actually taken as it needs to be there. Then we heard, unpredictability. This also requests a lot of flexibility. And here we see that cobots are actually a really, really great answer for this. Because at the end, you can create very lean solutions. You can quickly change, for example, the place of the cobot. So with this lean approach, you can really react flexible, and combining it with ease of use, really everyone is able to adapt it to the needs. Saying, okay, the market for cobots is growing. we see another very important trend, and that's a trend for higher payload, and coming with this also the longer reach. So the payload up to 12 kilo is a very, very big growing segment, and also the reach of more than 1 meter. And here I can proudly introduce, these are our 2 new variants, the GOFA 10 and the GOFA 12. You see the very high repeatability. You see the ease of use. If you look at the 2 new variants, the GOFA 10 with 10 kilo payload, the GOFA 12 with 12 kilo payload, I think it has a really remarkable repeatability of 0.02 millimeters. And that's really a new benchmark in the industry. We see a lot of application where you actually have the need to be super precise, because otherwise you cannot really automate these new applications. Then when we talk about, yes, having the repeatable robot, you can easily program it. At the end, everyone is also asking for productivity. And that's where the tool center point speed of 2 meters per second is actually very important. So you can create really productive applications with it. If we look at the GOFA 10, it has actually a reach of 1.62 meters. And this really allows to also, for example, do the palletizing of US pallets. So the reach is longer than every comparable Cobot in this class. We've seen this. When we think about where the Cobots are used, then it's very important that, for example, for machine tending, you have a very challenging environment. So you have moisture, you have dust, and at the end it's very important that the Cobot also is resisting this environment. And that's why both variants are IP67, so they can really reliable and durable do the task. We heard before our superior motion control, of course, since it's powered by the Omnico controller, we also really leverage this. And last but not least, we said safety is important. So also the power force limiting functionalities, thanks to the inbuilt torque sensors, are a key feature of the new GOFA. And last but not least, I can invite every one of you just to come to our booth, because one key feature is the super easy way to do lead through. So you can have both hands on the robot, you can just move it very smooth, and this really allows us to use at the end the precision we have, because you can move the robot very precise just by your hand there. And we have a part at our booth where you can just try to program. So I want all of you to just come and try it, because that's when when the aha moment happens. At our booth, you can find the GOFA 12 in a machine tending application. So very lean solution, really addressing these needs. High precision, because we really want to be precise in the machine. Then we have a palletizing application, ultra lean also here. So very easy, everyone is able to use it. We have the GOFA 5 in a welding application, because we heard before that actually really there is a labor shortage in welders. So we address this. And then at one of our partner booths, you can also find one of the GOFA 12 in a polishing application, because also here we see a big demand. We also have a digital LinkedIn Live coming up in 2 days. So if others, or especially online, you cannot join us at the real booth, I can invite you to the digital version. So we will show you around. We will explain a little bit in detail. So that's a great opportunity. And then we've seen that there are new Cobots. But at the end, if you look at applications, we need more. Because in every application, you need some gripper, some feeder, anything around to really make it an application. And here, FOSS, we launched 1 week ago a new program. So that's the ABB Ecosystem Program, and it enables partner to actually develop ease-of-use packages for hardware, like grippers, feeders, but also for technologically advanced software functionalities. So this should be really integrated. And we said it's a program to enable partners. So how could this look like? So for example, when we have one of the camera suppliers, we really work together close in the development phase to make sure we have the deep integration for our cobots and industrial robots. So they started with a robot studio, prepared everything virtually. Then they came to our lab, really work in the Cobot experience hub. And at the end, you can go to our booth and then see it in action. But it does not stop here. At the end, we want to address the market together. So I mean, also activities to reach the customers is something which will be enabled by this program. We heard there's a lot needed. So you can see that actually these packages work together. So there are Wizard-Easy programming blocks included to easily, for example, program a gripper or a camera. Sometimes a very customized graphical user interface is needed. And of course, it can be hardware and software packages. I always like to have one example. And here we can see a palletizing example. What would you need to make it really a lean application? You need a GOFA, or another Cobot, Swifty could be another option. And then you need a gripper and, for example, a lift kit. And at the end, that's it. You put it together. You can program it in Wizard-Easy programming because you have the blocks coming from the partner packages. And at the end user can either directly program or at least adjust the program depending on his preference. So that's basically also the question, who's really profiting from these packages? And that's what we see in end users. And it's really, they can program a simple pick and place application easily, or system integrators do the setup, and then you can simply adjust it. And I think we have a really great example actually at our booth, because you can see one of the big industrial robots also with a Wizard-Easy programming. So sometimes small adjustments is the thing the end users want to do. Then, of course, system integrators and a new group of Cobot experts. We have a long history working with partners. They also really profit from these packages. Why? Because at the end, we enable them to do these lean applications, because it's saving them a lot of time, it's reducing the risk a lot, and that's when they are actually able to go into this market and realize a lot more projects, these lean applications. Last but not least, of course, the ecosystem partners also profit from it, because together we can really reach a new market. And then I can also invite you here. We have this demo of the Swifty, where we have really a lot of ecosystem packages together. So we have, for example, a desk from one company, the feeder from another company, the camera, the gripper, the cable holder, everything just together in one cell, and it's fully programmed in Wizard-Easy programming. So you can go there, have a look. And for the online audience, we will also show it in the LinkedIn Live. Last but not least, also universities, schools, the whole education segment is profiting from this, because at the end we have one education cell, and here also the gripper packages basically provided from one of our partners. Really easy to use, no need to do anything extra. So that's where we really bring everything together. The cobots on one hand, but then also the ecosystem making the full applications possible. That's it from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. ABB Robotics is clearly making automation easier and preparing the workforce for tomorrow. Katja, thank you for those exciting insights. And thank you again to our other presenters, Mark, Segura, and Jörg Rigger. Here at Automatica, you can see how ABB is enabling businesses to respond to the challenges for today and to create new possibilities for tomorrow. The company is bringing together physical robots and the digital world to deliver even greater flexibility and simplicity, creating resilience and opportunity in the face of significant uncertainty. We'd now like to invite questions for the panel. To start, I have a couple of questions over here that have come in from LinkedIn. So I will start with the first question. Maybe Mark, this is for you. We're seeing more AI-enabled robot solutions on the market. Will these solutions require more training on the staff?
No, actually, the goal is that it takes less, because AI is all about driving autonomy. So we've heard about programming the robots, tools for programming, simplified tools like Wizard. Ultimate goal is moving from programming to instructing to full autonomy. And here we have several examples we've developed now in the last years in the logistics area. We have launched in Logimat our item picker, an AI-powered robot that doesn't need any training or any programming. It just does the task. We've talked today about the visual slam, where robots can navigate and map the space without need of sophisticated engineering on top of that, because the system, the perception takes care of all of that. So ultimately, AI, well applied, will unlock new applications while lowering the barriers for people to be able to use it.
Great. Thank you so much. So are there any questions also in the room? We have a microphone over here. You can just put your hand up. There we go, in the first row.
Matthias Bayerdorfer is Robotik und Produktion. I have several questions, maybe starting with the cobots. Last year we saw some new cobots with payloads going up to 20 kilos and more. Do you think 12 kilo is enough, or do you have already plans for the next GOFA?
Yeah, so I think the journey is definitely continuing. What we've seen is that there's really the biggest market up to 12 kilo. And at the end, if we look at our full portfolio, then we also have the big industrial robots. And what we see more and more is that ease of use is also going to this direction. So that's why I think, yes, we are also addressing this. And stay tuned for the future.
And then another question, you mentioned the new ecosystem. Do you have any partners yet you could announce?
Yeah, I will invite you to the booth, because you can see the first in action. Also on our website, you can find the first partners.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, I will go back to LinkedIn. So we have from Yassine on LinkedIn a question. Maybe this one is for you, Jörg. How are ABB robots supporting the automotive industry?
Yeah, I mean, I have shown it in the video. There are so many changes now ongoing, in particular moving to the e-mobility. In many areas, we see innovations coming, and we need new applications. For example, to supporting a mega casting is a different thing to do, and we are looking now together with our customers what kind of application we can develop together to support this new technology. And overall, the whole battery and also the e-motor is completely new for us. We are really producing motors together with our customers, which is completely new for us. And that is what I said at the beginning. This makes the business at the moment so exciting, so inspiring. We have engineers, they love it. I mean, really, since a long time, you know, the automotive was very traditional, but now it's so many things ongoing, and there we can support a lot.
Lovely, thank you so much. I would like to also go back to the room and give the microphone.
Thank you very much. So a question to the new 67 family. First question, is it especially for automotive industry, or do you think also on other more general industry applications? And second question, how modular is it? So can I really change the range of the robot, for example, like I want, or do I have several models
You want
on
to
that?
take it, Mark?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've used modularity in an automotive environment that is so dynamic to explain how important that is. Why we really strive to make it so much models and discrete. But of course, this robot is optimized for large payloads that goes across many industries. In general industries, for machine tending, for any process like, again, deburring, gluing, machine tending, material handling, etc. And of course, we have optimized the design when it comes to the mechanical. You've heard 10% equivalent weight reduction while keeping the stiffness and keeping the accuracy. That's remarkable from a motion control standpoint, and it lowers energy consumption. We just said 80% of CO2 emitted is during the utilization, 20% is in construction. And the modularity is, starts at the choice, okay? And these are discrete choice. You cannot choose in between, but it's a very dense family. But of course, the fact that the robot is built in modules, some are empty tubes with a cable inside, some are gearboxes, makes you that in the future to retrofit becomes much easier than in the past.
Great. I'm going to ask the next question from LinkedIn again. This one is maybe for you, Katja. Can you elaborate more on the safety features of the new cobots? Can they work alongside humans in non-industrial and industrial settings?
Yes. So they definitely can. So we have the inbuilt torque sensors, which are safety rated. So that really allows us to have the power force limiting functionalities. So you can really run the robot very close to a human. And as I said, you can have a look at our booth. We actually also show it. Very important for the safety is also that it's very, very easy to set up. And therefore, we also have basically a really nice screen on our interface where you can, with a few clicks, very quickly set up the safety.
Lovely. So I would like one last question from the audience. Is there anyone? Here we go again. Lovely.
Thank you. Did I get it right that the new robot family is fits very well to high standardized solutions?
Yes.
And last year, when I remember, ABB announced some ABB whole solution packages. Is that now the right type of robot for those solutions?
Yeah, of course, we are taking also these robots, bringing it into our function modules. So saying that we're putting on the robot our existing applications. There in some areas we are working also, of course, with partners together when it comes to the application side. But this is, of course, we are putting now these kind of robots into our high production or standardized production application cells. And by that, we are moving forward then, continuing also getting more reachability in a cell, having more scalability also when the parts are getting bigger. That is what we are using, the benefits from there.
So is the strategy for the whole solution package successful for ABB?
Yeah, absolutely.
Looking back to the last months?
What we are looking forward is to get added value for our customers, and the more we can bring on top of the robot, which means software, what Mark explained, VSLAM, for example, or that we're having our own welding guns, or when we are having our own sealing or gluing equipment, we are getting really also later on more service business. We can continue and going through the whole life cycle with the robot, which is also good for sustainability, and then later on that we can support the full robot. And we are on the whole life cycle with the customer, not only for the robots, also including the application part.
Let me add, if you look at our portfolio here, one of the things that makes us different, of course, over the years is our application expertise. Take spot welding, arc welding, painting, grinding, now logistics. So you would see that our functional packages are around the robot plus the knowledge of application. So we try to bundle application plus robot, motion control, and making something unique out of the two worlds because we know both. And those are these function packages and cells, and then system integrators can take and make solutions out of that. But the core performance, the core quality assurance is at the core of our function package or module that then becomes a system later on integrated by others or in some cases ourselves.
I mean, what is also important, Mark, when I would like to add is, when we are looking at the automotive, we are one of the companies which are in all process parts of building a car body, in all manufacturing area. We are in the body and white, we are in the press, we are in the paint, we are in the manufacturing of the batteries, the motors. So we are covering the whole manufacturing of a car body. And then the more we're having functional modules, which includes the applications, we are really the ones influencing the process. You know, the robot, you can put a lot of things on it, but who is making the product, the quality of the customer product is the application. And that's the reason why we are focusing this added value approach in the market for our customers.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you so much. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you to Mark Segura, Jörg Rüger, and Katja Butavec, as well as all of you here today, of course, and online. If we didn't get a chance to answer your questions as part of the live press conference, then one of the ABB team will respond shortly, so please keep an eye on the chat for your update. Today has truly been an informative and insightful event, so thank you all for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rest of Automatica, and we wish you a pleasant remainder of the day. Thank you.